is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Eric's house. And we have some very disturbing news regarding Bon Jovi, whose album just came out, Forever. I reviewed the album, super impressed and excited about this album. There's some disturbing news that comes along with it regarding some of the copies, or many of the copies, thousands of copies that were sold as signed by Jon Bon Jovi. And evidently, many of those albums were sent out auto-penned, fake, signed by a mechanical device, not Jon Bon Jovi himself. And there's tons of evidence to support this. You see right here 4 examples of the signature, exactly the same in all 4, but on slightly different spots. Exactly the same. No 2 signatures should be exactly the same. That's a problem right there. Not to mention, there are examples where you can see where the auto pen stopped for a moment, processed, continued. Auto pens are shakier. Auto pens are not smooth and natural. They're just designed to sign exactly like the person, but they're not perfect. Someday they might be, which is going to be a real issue. But right now it's very easily detectable. You can see the little black spots. Like Jon Bon Jovi's not going to make that loop and stop right in the middle of the loop and then continue. It doesn't really make sense, especially not multiple times in the same signature. There's a ton of articles coming out on this situation. Jon Bon Jovi fans slam music label for allegedly selling CDs with fake auto pen autographs. Buyers beware. Some Jon Bon Jovi fans were in for a letdown after ordering a piece of memorabilia after the Grammy Award winner 62 released his band's 16th studio album Forever earlier this month. Fans in the US have complained on social media they allegedly received CDs autographed by auto pen. And I'm pretty much convinced from the photographs we've seen, it is definite that that is what is happening. Looks like Bon Jovi is the latest to sell auto penned as autographs. That ain't an autograph. Nobody wants auto pen. If you want to sell auto pen, you have to describe it as auto pen. But let's go to Bon Jovi's website. And here it is right here. All kinds of stuff. It's really cool. All the different type of releases. Even a cassette tape I saw at one point was available of this album. That is amazing. But here we have the Forever signed CD, limited edition, only $13.98. That's basically the price of a normal CD. And they even throw in this image of Jon evidently signing hundreds, if not thousands. You can see just tons of stacks of CDs or possibly inserts, but whatever the case, we can see a ton of CDs that are signed. It's hard to tell here if these ones are legit. They look probable that they're legit since they're sitting right in front of him, but sold as Forever signed CD. Signed. Simple as that. And here's an example. It doesn't have to necessarily be this white pen right here like that. Every signature is going to look different. That's the beauty of the signature, that the artist or the whoever's signing it actually held it in his or her hand and signed the baby. You know, this was held and signed by the artist or the celebrity or whatever the case, the athlete or whatever. Now here's one that is legit that I found here on Reddit, and you can see it's smooth. There's no dots. There's no sudden stops. This one looks 100% genuine. It's very quickly signed and smooth. Unlike something like this, shaky, dots in it, just not natural. Like, did he get, suddenly old, like 80, get Parkinson's or something? I mean, what's going on? Why are we so shaky now? Because the auto pen is not perfect. An auto pen signs it slowly, not quick and smooth and fluid like a human would. So this is messed up. And they're talking about it over at Jovi Talk, the Bon Jovi community at drycounty.com. One user wrote, "This has definitely picked up steam in other outlets in a year where there's been a pretty concerted effort to drum up good publicity for the band. This is a stupid, unforced error, especially with those social media posts they did showing Jon signing truckloads of copies to sell the lie. Not a great look. I know consensus on Reddit has been US copies are fake, Euro copies are genuine. Not sure why we got screwed over here in the US, but anyway, I ordered CD this week because my friend is in UK, probably won't recognize if it's real or auto pen. You might be able to recognize. I got a signed card. And this person's like, did anyone actually believe that Jon or any celebrity actually signed these things? Lordy, what? Oh, if you sell it as that, then yeah. If you say I'm selling a signed it from the actual celebrity, it damn well better be signed. Otherwise, it's what's known as a scam. It's what's known as dishonest. It's what's known as BS. This guy like sounds like he's defending them or something. He's defending the record label. Like what? If it is something that's advertised as hand signed by the band member, then yes, you expect them to be hand signed by the band member. If they aren't, then they have been missold. Of course. What are we talking about? I mean, you don't have to sign any CDs. Don't sell them. It's not hard. Don't sell them as signed if they're signed by a machine. Very, very simple. And someone's saying that maybe it's because of the language. They sold them as signed by Jon Bon Jovi instead of saying hand signed. What's the difference? Signed, hand signed? They weren't signed or hand signed by Jon Bon Jovi if they were signed by a machine. End of story. Nobody wants that. Unbelievable. So, I guess the big question is, what was Jon Bon Jovi's involvement? That's probably what people want to know. I don't know the answer to that, but he said before, this organization, it ain't a democracy, right? It's a straight up dictatorship. And Jon's the man. Jon is the head of the dictatorship. He knows everything that goes on in this organization. Should. So there's only two possibilities. Either he didn't know this was going on, and for some reason the record label decided to just scam thousands of fans and have those pictures of Jon signing him like just he's there like an idiot, and really they're selling a bunch of AUTOPEN and he has no idea, in which case he's lost control of this organization. I know the record label it's a big organization, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's huge. There's a lot of working parts and Jon can't be involved in everything, but this is like, how is this happening and you don't know about it? So either you lost some control of the organization or Jon is definitely knows about it, definitely involved in this, and is definitely okay with that and making an extra buck and thinking that no one was going to notice, just like they thought no one would notice when they went ahead and lip synced Living on a Prayer during the 2022 tour. Almost made it through the whole tour. It was rough. Almost made it through and then decided suddenly to lip sync a song. What was that about? So I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say that he's a bad guy or that, he's a terrible person, but let's just be honest. He's a businessman worth almost, if not $1 billion, very, very wealthy. And we can't just trust all these people. They say never meet your heroes, right? You can't just trust them. I still love the music. I'll always love the music. I'll always support the music. At least I think so. It'd have to do something pretty bad for me to just stop listening, because I can separate the artist from the music, the artist from the movies, whatever it might be. Because I don't know these people. At the end of the day, I don't know this. I'll never know him, and he'll never know me. And this guy Jon Bon Jovi is huge. And I'm some loser talking on the internet. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. But I think this is disgusting. I think this is terrible. Absolutely terrible. But let me know what you guys think. Looks like a legit signature. Some of these other ones do not. These little points right there gives it away. These little dots. What is going on? Then you had some, like I showed you earlier, multiple copies that were the exact same. Shouldn't happen. Nobody wants auto-penned. Let me know what you guys think down below, and we'll talk to you next time.